Yo, this one of them video. Oh, snap, I didn't even know the, yo. Whoa, that's weird. I just set the camera down. I didn't even know it was recording. I was about to start talking to myself. That's crazy. I know y'all think I'm lying. I know y'all think I'm just putting on, but I'm for real. I was literally about to start vlogging before officially vlogging. But what I was about to say was, man, this is one of them videos that, one of them vlogs, one of them videos that just, you kind of just turn the camera on and you let it go. You don't really plan for what you're about to say or what's gonna happen or what it's gonna look like. You just peel that tab back, let the bubbles pop off the can, and you dive right in and take a big gulp. And that's exactly what I'm about to do. Listen, I don't know whether you've been in a good headspace or not, right? I can go ahead and tell you, I've been in the middle between the surgery and everything else going on with 2020. It's been a challenge, and it's been like that for a lot of people, but I keep coming back to this because it ain't letting up. Like, it's just not. This year has torn families apart. This year has, you know what? It's not the year. The events in this year have torn families apart, have demolished businesses, have, you know, caused people that were doing fairly well to fall into poverty. Man, there's been a lot going on, right? But through it all, man, one thing is constant. One thing is the truth. And if you're watching this video, there's one thing that is the truth. You're still here. You ain't laid down yet. You haven't thrown in the towel yet. You haven't given up. And this is a metaphor for life in general. This isn't just exclusive to a bad year, bad day. This is life in general. If you got air in your lungs, if you've got bass in your voice, or whatever, tenor, octave, whatever it is, if you ain't got as much bass. Everybody's got a certain level of bass though, right? So I'm just gonna stick to what I said. If you got bass in your voice, then there's still a chance. There's still opportunity. There's still fight left in you. So you can't back down. You can't just lay down and take it, right? I mean, you can, but what use is in that? Man, there are people making more money during this year than they've made in their entire careers. Part of that's because of smart businessmen and women. The other side of it is, you know, strife and hardship causes people to think differently. And that's when innovation comes. I read a statistic somewhere that we've had 30-something depressions or recessions, 30-something recessions, and of those 30, about half, no. So, I'm gonna butcher the statistic, but what I'm trying to say is, out of all of those, about half of them, there were 16 businesses created out of all of those. And they are now multi-billion dollar businesses. A lot of them, a huge percentage of them. So, if I know that, then why on earth would I not look at history and see how others have overcome? Man, listen, y'all don't know this, but I'm gonna share it with you. Shortly after my father passed, and I hate to, you know, it's just a pivotal moment in my life. Shortly after my father passed, I heard a voice tell me to go away, right? Told me to go away in silence. I didn't know what that meant, so I looked up silent retreats, silent Airbnb. I just looked up something, right? Came across a place that was in the middle of nowhere, just outside of a major city down here where I live, just outside of Nashville. And it was surrounded in wilderness. They had a meditation room. They had a ridge that went up like 200 plus feet overlooking the property. They had, I mean, it was crazy. Had a little cabin, I mean, it was awesome. So I paid, it was $40 a night. I stayed 2 nights. During my stay there, I didn't say one word. I was quiet the entire time. I did this last weekend, actually. I had no intention of sharing this, but I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about just life, and I gained a lot of wisdom in those moments alone and in solitude and in silence. One of the first lessons that I learned was that a lot of the battles that we find ourselves in, before we even fight them, before we even make the decision to fight them, they're already won. And I can share with you the story, but I don't want this video to be too long. Another thing I learned was you have to start, before you can make true change in any aspect of your life, in anything, you have to start where you are with what you have, the resources that you have right now. You can't be a billion-dollar company or a successful business or, you know, a bodybuilder in one day. It just ain't gonna happen. I don't care how much money you got, it ain't gonna happen. You have to start with where you are and what you have now. So if you got a job working at McDonald's and you're not making the amount of money that you want to make, hey, save your money. Find places where you can cut corners and not spend as much as you're making, and flip it that way. And invest your money in stocks, invest your money in a business idea, invest your money in a product or something that you wanted to make or you thought about. Man, I can't tell you how many times I've told myself, man, somebody ought to do X, Y, and Z, man. Somebody ought to make X, Y, and Z, only to see a couple years, couple weeks, even sometimes a couple days later, somebody's doing it. It's because somebody started where they were with what they had. So start where you are with what you have. You still got some fight. There's still some juice left in this year. Now, there's a lot of speculation surrounding what's to be had for the rest of this year as it relates to the election. Listen, I don't care who you're voting for. I don't care if you're not voting. Honestly, I can't fault anybody that doesn't vote. I was in the same boat. I haven't voted. Actually, I haven't voted. I ain't never voted. I might just vote this year. There's something weird about voting and casting a ballot for somebody to be in charge of your life and major decisions in your life. Because my philosophy, it's hard for me to deal with that, because my philosophy is very much so along the lines of I'm a sovereign human being. You know, I don't need an overlord. I don't need somebody taking care of me. I don't need Big Brother, you know? But it is what it is. So if I know that I still got some fight left in me, then I know you still got some fight left in you. So wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, with whatever you have, start right now, today. And that's all I got to say. I might have another video, something else coming up here in a couple seconds, who knows. But until then, peace. Stay true.
That was easy.